Welcome back to That's Life with John Carver. This is episode number 380. And I called this episode Your Paint Brushes. No, we're not going to have a recording here, a podcast about painting. Just hang in there. You'll know what I'm talking about in a second. Many people have a huge assumption that everyone communicates and understands in the same way. This assumption is very wrong. Imagine trying to talk to a toddler or a preschooler in the language of a high school student. These kids don't have the capacity to understand. They might understand a few words here and there, but certainly not in context. The wise people understand that in order to be understood by others, they must communicate in ways that are specific to the listener. Many marketers assume that if they use a, quote, wide brush in their marketing efforts, they will reach more people. This assumption is also wrong because many people will ignore those messages because it doesn't interest them or impact them in any way. So using a wide brush wastes time, effort, and energy. Using a narrow brush reaches the people on the fringes that want what the, quote, thin brush is painting for them. When I see commercials about McDonald's or Burger King, I ignore them because I know how terrible I feel when I eat their food a few times a year. The, quote, wide brush marketing effort does not attract me at all. When I see an advertisement, however, with someone playing a piano, I'm attracted to the marketing because I love playing the piano. They're using a narrow brush, at least in my case. So imagine trying to have a conversation with a scientist in a tone of a cheerleader or an evangelistic preacher. The conversation would not go well because the scientist does not communicate in that way. In the same conversation, what if the same type of communication mirrored the communication style of the scientist? This is when synergy blossoms. A narrow brush is being used for mutual benefit. Choosing to be specific in your marketing and communication reaps a much larger return on investment. But frustration happens when we think that people should understand our messaging, when in fact, our messaging is not designed to reach everyone in the same way. Your messaging is your creation. Let me say it again. Your messaging is your creation. So if I was a painter, why would I paint a landscape with a wide brush? There would be no way I could paint the blades of grass or wings of a bird. It's the same with your marketing and communication with everyone in your life. The use of your narrow brush will touch the hearts of minds far and wide. Your well thought out target market should determine your approach or your methods. So be intentional about what paintbrushes or forms of communication that you use and watch what happens in your life. My name is John Carver. Thanks for watching.